When and how should I register for classes is a very common question that we get from incoming UNB exchange students. So if everything's clear, you should usually get your letter of acceptance within 4 weeks of applying to UNB. On your letter of acceptance, you will be given a student ID number and a student login ID. As soon as you have those two things, you should be able to register for classes, and you should start doing that as soon as possible to make sure that you get into your top preferences. Because even though you are allowed to register for classes right up until the start of semester, and even beyond that, if you need to switch from one class to another for a short period of time, then you are allowed to do that. But we recommend that you do it as soon as possible because there's a limited number of spots in most UNB classes, and you want to make sure that you get into the ones that you want. So the first thing you should do in order to choose your courses is to view the course listing online and to identify courses that you think you might be interested in. So to do that, you just Google UNB course timetable, as I have done, and you click on the first link here. So this will bring you to a page that looks like this, and it allows you to narrow the criteria of your search. So you can choose which semester you want, you can choose which academic level you want, and you can choose from a very long list of different departments. You can also choose locations, so you'll see we have a number of different campuses, and it's very important to choose the campus that you will be visiting. And you also want to choose time formats. So you have classroom-based, which is basically anything that isn't online. You have evening, which just narrows that further to classroom bases that are after 4 p.m. or on weekends. And you also have online courses, which is basically the opposite, anything that's online only. So you choose all that, and then you search, as I have done here. I've selected English courses just as an example. And when you go down, you see all of the course offerings for that semester. So one thing you can find out about it is that it's got different levels of courses. So 1,000 level courses are usually first year, 2,000 level second year, 3,000 level or third year, and 4,000 level are fourth year, and 5,000 level are usually seminars like for honors students, and anything beyond that is going to be a graduate course. However, you'll see, for example, for English, there aren't really very many 4,000 level courses. The only thing they've got for that is a thesis project. So some departments don't really distinguish between third and fourth level courses. They just lump them in all together as upper year courses. And so in the English department, for example, you see only 3,000 level courses for all upper year. So you don't really need to worry about whether it's third or fourth, whereas other departments will distinguish between the two. They'll have 3,000 level and they'll have 4,000 level. Another thing it gives you is the section number. So this is this right here. It's going to end in an A because it's in the fall semester. Anything in the winter semester will end in a B. But then you also get things like this, where it's X/Y. And that means that it runs over both semesters. So both full year courses like those are going to be listed under the fall section, like this one. So if you look at a department and you see that they have more courses listed in the fall than in the winter, that's probably because a lot of the ones in the fall are actually full year courses. And if you're a student who's here for only one semester or the other, and you should probably limit yourself to courses that are in that semester only, that aren't full year. But if you really are just dying to take a course that's full year, you can always email the academic advisor from that department. They might be able to make an exception for you. It really depends, but just be aware that that might be a limitation on what you can choose. Another thing that you can see on this is the capacity of enrollment. So you'll see for these courses, for example, they can have up to 40 people, and right now there are 0 enrolled. That's because enrollment isn't open yet for this semester. But once it does open, you'll start to see those numbers creep up until they reach a limit of 40 in some cases, and that means that that class is full and you won't be allowed to enroll in it. If you do try to enroll in that class, you'll be waitlisted, and I'll show you later what you can do if that does happen to you. So the next thing you want to do after choosing your courses is you want to contact an academic advisor at UNB to make sure that the courses that you've selected are suitable for you. So UNB Global Learning and Engagement will provide you with a list of these academic advisors for each subject and their contact information. And these advisors can be very helpful. For example, they can give you more details on what the course will actually involve, although course descriptions are also sometimes available on each department's website. Your advisor will also make sure that you've chosen a full course load for your program. So generally, 15 credit hours per term is considered a full course load. And you want to contact the academic advisor for each subject that you're interested in taking courses from. So for example, if I was an English major who wanted to take 3 courses in English, 1 course in history, and 1 course in economics, then I would contact the advisors from each of those departments to make sure that the courses that I'd chosen were suitable. After that, you want to actually go enroll in your courses. So for that, you go onto the UNB website, which is what this looks like, unb.ca, and you go to My UNB, which is where you're going to need your login ID number, which you'll put in here, and the password, which you put in there. And then I won't actually put it in front of you, but I've brought up what my page looks like. So this is what you'll get once you log in. And you want to scroll down on the side menu here. You want to select Register for Classes. So click on that. Sometimes it takes a couple minutes to load, depending on how many people are using it, but not a lot right now, I guess. And then it gives you different ways to select the courses. So you should have the course numbers that you want written out. The course number is just this right here. And you might want to have the name too on hand. And my favorite method of selecting is search and select. So for this one, you just choose the term that you want. So I'll choose summer, and you choose the location. And then you want to choose the subject. So I've selected one in English that I want. And the course level, it's a 3000 level course. And then you don't need to put in anything else than that, which is nice. It's quicker than having to type in all these numbers. And then it just gives you the list of ones that fit that criteria. So this is the one that I wanted. I select that and I submit. And at this point, you're not actually registering for the courses, you just select it. This page is the one that will bring you to this, where you actually register. So if I had a number of courses here that I wanted to enroll in, I could just select register and register for them all at once, or I could go through one by one and select register. But make sure that you do one or the other. If you try to register here and then register again down here, it won't let you do it. So just do one or the other. And then you submit. I'm not going to actually submit right now because I don't actually want to register in that course. But at this point, there are a couple different problems you could run into. So if something comes up, it'll be up at the top here, and it's a notification to say that something went wrong. Don't panic. That happens a lot of the time. The most common thing that I've seen is that it won't let you register in a course because you need special permission from the professor to enroll. So in that case, just contact the advisor from that department. Most of the time they'll be aware that this is a course that needs the professor's permission, and they can get the professor to put you in that course rather than you putting yourself in it. Another thing that might happen is the course time might clash with another course that you're already enrolled in. So in that case, just choose one of the 2 courses and find something else to replace the other one. The other thing it can do is it might waitlist you, which is something that I've already mentioned. That means that there are too many students enrolled in that course already. And in that case, you should go find another course to replace it. You should waitlist yourself in the course that you're waitlisted for. Find another one to replace it. Register in that so you make sure that you get in that one before it fills up too. And then you should contact your academic advisor and find out how many people are waitlisted for that course. If you have much chance of getting in, because if you're the only person on the waitlist for that course, sometimes they'll put you in it anyway. If you're one of 50, then you can just kind of lose hope of getting in, and maybe just kind of make sure that you the second choice you got is something that you're happy with. So that's about it for registering for courses. The other piece of advice that I'll give you is don't overload yourself academically, because obviously you want to be engaged in the courses you're taking, you want to be interested, but you're also in a new country and you want to explore and enjoy yourself while you're here without having too much stress. So avoid enrolling in subjects that you know will be especially difficult for you, or things that you suspect will give you a higher than normal amount of stress or a very, very high workload, because by all means you want to challenge yourself academically during your degree, but while you're on exchange, that's not really the time to do that. So that's all of the advice I have for enrolling in courses. Good luck and have fun choosing your classes.